What's up everyone? I'm Matt with Ozark Overland Adventures, and I'm currently getting attacked by horseflies in the Ozark National Forest the second week of August. And it is, as you may tell from my face, ridiculously hot and humid. And it's 7:30 right now. And I think it's low 90s with ridiculous humidity. The high today was upper 98. Heat index of 110, and it's been miserable. But I came out here to do one thing, and that is to test this. It is the Zero Breeze Mark II, and it is an air conditioner for your tent. In my case, the rooftop tent. Could be for a ground tent, could be for a small room, whatever. But you know, maybe if you're living out of the back of your rig, could work well for that too. But it's the Zero Breeze Mark II, and I have had this for 6 weeks maybe, and haven't had a chance to really put it to the test. I did test this at home, just had it running to see how long it would last. But I wanted to come out here and actually test it on a night like tonight. I think the low tonight is 82 with high humidity. This is not something you'd want to be camping in without something like this, unless you just love misery. So, but wanted to see if this actually works, and to let you know, if this is worth right now on their website $1399.99, $1,400. It's normally $1,600, but they've got it discounted right now. I don't know if that will still be the case by the time you're watching this video, but right now it's $1,400, and that's a whole lot of money. So whether or not this is worth it to you depends on how much you love to camp and how much you want to camp year-round, depending on where you live. For me in the Ozarks, if I'm going to camp in July or August, something like this is going to be a must. So we're going to see if this works.
Ozark Overland Adventures is proudly supported by the More Expo, the Midwest's only indoor event for adventure travel enthusiasts. Artemis Overland Hardware. They have the passion and knowledge to ensure that your next outdoor experience is more than a camping trip, it's an adventure. And Long Creek Overland, your source for Ozark Overland Adventures merchandise and more.
So running down exactly what this is an air conditioner that's designed to go in a tent or small spaces. This is the outlet where the cold air comes out. It's got an intake and an output exhaust on the back, and a drain tube, because as an air conditioner this does create moisture, and if you just leave this up in your tent, you're gonna have a big puddle of water in it. So it's got a drain tube to drain the water off, and the big thing about this is that it has its own battery pack. You can actually disconnect this, and this is the battery pack. It is basically an 850 watt-hour battery. It does have 2 USB-A ports. It has a USB-C port and a little DC outlet. If you need to possibly use this to run other things, maybe charge a phone, something like that while you're in your tent and you don't want to take another battery, you could use this. However, once this is depleted, you don't have a lot of options. You can run this on like a Jackery 1000, a Blue Eddy, EV70, or the ginormous AC 200P, but you can only run it on AC power, and it comes with this massive power brick right here that pulls about 200 watts. So I mean, if you've got let's say a Jackery 1000, it's pulling 200 watts. That's going to get you maybe 4 hours, 4.5 hours to run it off AC. So not the most efficient thing to do. The battery, just in my test at home, we're going to see how it does tonight, and I'll let you know in the morning. But the battery in my test at home lasted 8.5 hours. So that's not bad. That will get you, through the hottest part of the night when you're going to bed. For me, that's going to be, about 3 hours from now. And it's still going to be really muggy, and I'm wiping sweat off my face and getting you can tell it's hot. But it will get you through that initial hump and get you into the cool hours of the morning, the you know, the 6 a.m., 6 a.m. time where it's not so bad. But I would not want to sleep in my tent tonight without this. So I'm really hoping it works. Let me go through the features. It's got a power button here. It's got 5 blue lights on the top that let you know where the charge is. Let me plug this in. It connects with these, I don't even know what these are called. Not a normal DC or AC adapter. It's something unique to this. There may be other things that can connect to this, but you can see it goes that connector to that connector. The power brick has the same connector to charge the battery, or you can plug it in directly to this if you want to run it off AC. So you've got that connection is your only connection. It's got these 2 ducts back here that you can run. Ooh, that sounded cool. Hose like this, and you just put that in there. This one is your intake. This one is your exhaust. So, you know, in my case, what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to connect this off the back, run this out, maybe the front of the tent or a window to get the hot air out. And then I'm going to leave this open. And this is going to be inside the tent. Since it's just me, I don't need a lot of space. So this is going to be inside the tent with me and hopefully recirculate some of the cold air that it's putting out to keep it even colder. It also has an attachment on the front and another hose that I did not bring since I was using it inside. But this attaches here. And so if you maybe have a crowded tent or don't want this in your tent, you know, I could put it on the roof of my Gladiator and set this outside the window, take this, run it into the window, and have this completely outside my tent. So that's an option. But I'm gonna put it in the tent with me so I can keep an eye on it. It has a power button, and when you turn it on, it starts in what is the rocket mode, which is the super fast cool down. It's got a fan only mode. It's got the normal cool mode, and it's got a nighttime mode, which kind of takes the power down just a little bit, which is what I'm going to use tonight. And then it's got this handy dandy little light in front, just in case you need a little light. And then you can adjust the fan speed up or down. You can't adjust the temperature. The temperature is a constant. What it does is it tries to get about 30 degrees from my experience at home, about 25, 30 degrees below the ambient temperature. So with it being a low of 80 tonight, it's saying right now the air coming out is 73 degrees. And I'm gonna turn that on me because that feels pretty darn good. Even 73 feels better than mid 80s and high humidity. But it shows a thermostat here of what the air coming out is. And it feels really nice. If I had just had this in my tent tonight, I think I would be okay. But I'm gonna use this tonight, and I am going to let you know in the morning if this is worth $1,400 or potentially $1,600 if it's soft sale again. But I'm gonna use it. I'll let you know. All right, I've got it set up in the tent. This is how I'm gonna do it. As you can see, that doesn't take up really a whole lot of room. But I've got the exhaust fan here. It's gonna go out the tent. I've got the water hose connected. It's gonna drain out the tent. And we'll see what happens. I'll let you know. Well, it is significantly cooler up here. And I think this is gonna work very well. The air coming out of the zero breeze is 65 degrees, which in here, I do have a little USB fan going too. I think I might have to get under the covers here in a little bit because it's getting cool. And it's not humid either. I like it.
A quick update on the zero breeze. It's almost 7 a.m. and it was amazing. I slept so good last night. comfortable. In fact, at 3:30 in the morning, I got cold, so I had to shut it off and just use my little fan from that point on, because the air coming out of the zero breeze was like 57 degrees, I think, and so I was cold. So if you like summer camping, or want to like summer camping, I don't use this word lightly. It's a game changer. It really works.
Well, after one night of using the Zero Breeze, it works. I mean, it really works. I would have been completely miserable last night up in the tent, especially at the time I went to bed. From about, 10 p.m. to midnight, I would have just been sweating and sticky and hot and would not have been enjoying myself at all. I was up there watching a movie, Midway, by the way, good movie. And this actually worked. It wasn't humid. It kept me very cool. I was comfortable. In fact, at 3:30 in the morning, I was cold. Like, I was under a sheet and my quilt that I keep up there, and I got cold at 3:30 in the morning. So I actually turned it off. And then by that point, it was comfortable with just the fan. So, for $1,400 right now, for $1,400, if you have the budget and have the desire for summer camping, this thing actually works. Now, it is down to 1 bar on the battery. So if I were to be camping tonight, I've got to have some way to recharge this during the day. And let's find out just how much power this draws and get an estimate of how long it's going to take it to recharge. I have the power supply plugged into this 2,000 watt power station, and it's drawing 120 watts to charge. Now, with an 847-ish, 850-ish watt hour battery, that's going to take 6.5, 7 hours to charge. Which, if you're on an overlanding trip and you have a full day on the trail, you can, plug it into a power supply like that, or you can plug it into the inverter in your rig. I've got an outlet, in the back of my Gladiator, and could just plug it in that. And so if I'm going to spend 7 hours on the trail, or, wandering and exploring, then I could feasibly have this recharged by the time I get to camp. Now, if I'm not going to be spending, if I'm just going to be, parked at camp for another day, enjoying the heat and humidity, then you're definitely going to want like a power station like that, something in the 2,000 watt hour range, definitely 1,000 plus, that then you will have to recharge if you're going to spend multiple days using this. But I think this is fantastic. So if I'm out in the Ozarks again, and I'm sure I will, or the Ouachitas, because I'm going to start exploring that more, this very well may go with me. So let's discuss the pros and cons. The pros, obviously, this makes summer camping feasible. It works, and it works very well. It's actually not, for what it is, it's not too big, and it's not too heavy. I can get it up in the tent with one hand. So I think it's actually pretty compact for what this thing does. As far as the cons go, obviously you've got one night out of it, so you've got to recharge it. I don't know if that's really a con, it's just something to be aware of. The lights on this bothered me in the middle of the night, because it's got this little light back here that tells you the status, red or blue. It's got these lights up here. It's got the light for the temperature readout. It's got the little the lights on here. And when it's dark in your tent, that actually puts out a lot of light. Like, my wife wants it dark, like black. when she's sleeping, at home, in the tent, whatever. So she would not be able to handle this. That'd be way too much light. And I had actually took a towel and covered this section up to block the light. So that was an issue last night, but obviously put a shirt over it, put a towel over it. And I wish there was a way that it had a thermostat to cycle on and off, so it wasn't running constantly. That would be handy, and maybe a way to adjust the temperature so it's not just constantly blasting cold air. But I mean, for what it is, I think it's fantastic. Maybe in the Mark III they can incorporate some of those features, but I think it's great. So let me know in the comments what you think. Is this worth $1,400, $1,600 if it's not on sale to enjoy camping or overlanding in the summertime instead of just dealing with the heat? So let me know. And if you would like, subscribe, check out our Patreon, consider supporting this channel in a very tangible way. You see my campsite here. It is quite amazing, and we share all of our GPS data, routes, our tracks, waypoints, campsites like this are available to our patrons. So might have some value to you, and discount on our merchandise. And we've got new shirts coming. We've got new shirts designed. They're being produced right now. Check these out on the screen. But we've got the Sully design. We've got the Where Do We Go From Here? We Could Go Anywhere designs. And I'm crazy excited about them. So check those out on longcreekoverland.com. And I think that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Bye.